Welcome back to English Unfiltered, the podcast where we explore real conversations in English. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jamie. And today we're diving into, well, a really confusing situation that I think basically every English learner faces at some point.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Picture this. You're just walking down the hall and an American coworker walks right past you, makes eye contact, asks, "How are you?" and then just keeps right on walking.
Right, before you can even open your mouth to answer.
Exactly, yeah. So today we're taking a deep dive into this bizarre social ritual because, well, a question isn't always really a question, right?
No, definitely not.
We want to show you how to navigate these super fast interactions without feeling like you're just being completely ignored.
Yeah, it is such a classic trap. I mean, taking that simple phrase as like a literal request for actual information.
Why? When it's really just like a verbal handshake.
Exactly, yeah. Because in a lot of other cultures, asking how someone is doing is, a genuine inquiry into their life.
Yeah, they actually want to know.
Right, so when learners take the American greeting literally, they naturally feel totally ignored or emotionally disconnected.
Oh, for sure. And, taking that literal translation into a fast-paced environment is just an immediate recipe for culture shock.
Oh, absolutely.
You're basically left standing there analyzing your own well-being while the other person is already pouring their coffee.
Right, they're totally gone. And to really understand why this happens, we have to look at the sheer discomfort that Americans have with silence.
Oh, yeah. Shared, unstructured silence in public spaces is like the enemy here.
It really is. Whether you're in an elevator or standing in a grocery checkout line, silence between strangers is often felt as this underlying tension.
Or even hostility sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. So Americans prioritize friendliness and positivity to keep things smooth. Small talk acts as a sort of social lubrication.
Okay, but wait, let me push back on that a little bit.
Sure, go ahead.
If silence in an elevator feels awkward, isn't initiating a totally fake conversation just to avoid that silence, even worse? I mean, it just feels fundamentally dishonest to me to ask a question you have absolutely zero intention of hearing the answer to.
I get that. It definitely feels that way if you're measuring it by emotional intimacy,
Right.
But you have to remember, this is a highly mobile society. People rely really heavily on these quick, low-stakes interactions to build temporary trust.
So it's not actually dishonesty then?
No. Native speakers interpret this socially, not literally. The intention is pure politeness.
Like a polite acknowledgement.
Exactly. The underlying message is basically just, I see you, we're in a shared space together, and I mean you no harm.
Okay, so if the goal is just signaling trust and not exchanging actual data, how are you supposed to respond without breaking the rhythm?
Well, you sort of deploy these linguistic defense mechanisms. They're designed to maintain that baseline harmony.
You just bounce the signal right back, right?
Yeah, you use phrases like pretty good or, the incredibly vague can't complain.
I love that can't complain. It's so classic.
It is. But they aren't actual updates on your well-being. They're basically just required acoustic mirrors, bouncing the positive signal back.
Right, which means if you actually had a terrible morning, like say your car broke down or you're going through a whole personal crisis,
Yeah.
Giving a long, honest answer fundamentally violates the contract of that specific interaction.
Oh, totally. You'd essentially trap the other person.
Right, because they allocated, maybe 3 seconds of social bandwidth to this entire exchange?
Exactly. They definitely aren't prepared for an unexpected deep therapy session in the supermarket aisle.
No, definitely not. And, knowing that these greetings are just social tools, it entirely changes how you walk through the world.
It really does. It kind of makes you wonder how many other seemingly rude cultural moments are actually just misunderstood rituals.
Yeah, exactly.
Because once you stop translating word for word and start reading the underlying social intent, the frustration completely vanishes.
You just learn to enjoy the polite acknowledgement for what it actually is.
Right, navigating conversations just becomes so much easier.
So true. Well, here is something fun for you to try next time someone speeds past you with a, "How are you?"
Oh boy.
Try giving them a highly detailed, deeply emotional 2-minute answer about your existential dread.
Oh no, please don't do that.
Just to see the panic in their eyes as the social gears grind to an absolute halt.
That is terrible advice, but hilarious. Before we go, though, we want to hear from you. What social rule in English confused you the most when you first encountered it?
Yeah, let us know. It's always fascinating to hear those stories. Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Catch you next time on English Unfiltered.